Hello there and welcome to Lesson 6 Composition Essay Analysis. Alright class, this is now the application part of what I have presented earlier on the other video, the SEK strategy. If you're ready, then let's start. Alright, then let's go to work. So look at the template on the left side and here's an essay about using timeline. Now, when you see an essay or a reading like this, the very first thing that you need to do is, as I pointed question din nga, ang imong pangitaon you just have to scan, like look at those ICs. From top to bottom, imo siyang tan-awon. Why would you do that? Because you need to find out pila ka paragraphs ang naa diha. So with this, it's 1 paragraph, 2 paragraphs, 3 paragraph, and 4 paragraph. Meaning to say, may upat na to ka paragraph. So kung mag-analyze ta ani, ato ni siyang i-breakdown according to paragraph. So the first paragraph will go, ang data ana niya sa box number 1 sa left, which is 1. And the second paragraph is on box 2. And third paragraph is in box 3. Notice that there are 4 paragraphs, pero wala tayo para sa paragraph 4. So what we need to do for this drill is that kutob ta sa 3, pero we will still have to discuss on the 4th paragraph. Okay, so let's start. First paragraph. The timeline is a tool that we can use to help us understand history. It can tell us what happened at different times and how much time there was between two events. It can give us a picture of dates that helps us see how they all fit together. So the first sentence tells us na ang timeline daw kay tool kuno na siya or gamit para makatabang sa ato nga makasabot ta sa history or sa atong karaan. Now, sa second sentence, it tells us nga unsay mahitabo, no? It tells us nga ang timeline kuno makasulti sa siya unsay hitabo sa lain-lain nga panahon gyapon sa una. And unsa kadugay ni paghitabo from one event to another. Now, the third sentence, it gives us a picture. So, ghatag ni sa ato o kanang visually makita nato ang mga pizza nga may makatabang sa ato nga ato dayon ma-analyze ang tanan ma-fit na to all together from the beginning to the end. Now, when you're trying to get the main idea, the very first thing that you need to do is find the main noun. So for this first paragraph, what do you think is our main noun? Now, if you said timeline, you're exactly correct. Now, saan naman nimo pag-generate sa main idea, humana na, define na nimo ang noun. What you need to do is find the words nga nag-describe sa noun. And it is usually either a verb or an adjective. So, atong pangitaon karon, and you have to do this every sentence, no? So, we first look for the first sentence. Ano itong unsa ba? So, na-I-use, na-I-tell, and then na-I-give for each sentence. Now, for each sentence, nagsulti siya sa first sentence nga ang timeline daw magamit siya or makatabang siya sa pagsabot nato sa atong kasaysayan. Alright? Use, tell, and give. What is it telling you about for the first paragraph? It tells us what timeline can do. Unsay pwede. So, muna, ang timeline can be used to help us understand history. Ang timeline tells us what happened in different times and how much time there was between two events. And then, ang timeline can give us a picture of dates that help to see kung giyon sa pag-fit in together sa tanan. So, simple lang. Ang iyang first paragraph, nasulti lang gud siya kung unsay pwedeng himon sa timeline. So, ang second box, which is example, you need to write all the sentences or statement, no? Like, you need to be trained on how to paraphrase tungod kay naman sa upper elementary. Kasi pag mag-paraphrase ka, imong ipamubo ang mga tag-as nga pagka-state. Kung sentence na you give a phrase nga makadescribe yapon sa sentence, no? But it is just only a phrase. And the good thing about paraphrasing is that when you rewrite it, the same thing like using a timeline in essay, you will own it. Dili na siya sa kung kinsa ang nagsulat ani, but it is already your own. Okay, so what I did is this. So for the first one, understand history. You actually can write the whole sentence kung di pa nimo kaya nga ma-paraphrase, no? Kasi you also have to sequence kung unsa ang pagkasulat nimo sa imong example. The second is I stated it, I paraphrased it into happenings on different times and the times in between. Parehas ang meaning yapon. But this one is just very short pero compact na siya ba. Okay, sa third one, ngita ka dito sa mga root gihapon ng mga phrases. I said visual showing of dates to see how things fit together. It's the same thing as when you say that it gives us a picture of dates, but it is just stated in a different way. So I already own this one. So kung ako nang i-rewrite karon, mabutangan ako mahimo siyang correct o kanang mahimo siyang complete sentence. Yeah, it's the same using timeline pero ako na siya composition dili na than whoever is writing. Now, so the next thing that you need to do is find a keyword sa imong paragraph, first paragraph. Again, pag ang keyword mo ni siya mga word na pagbasa pa lang sa imuhang reader, kabalo na dahil siya, okay, this is all about blank. No? For this one, yes, if you said timeline, you're correct. And if you said history, you're more correct. All right. So let's go to paragraph 2. Timelines aren't only for events from a very long time ago. People still use them to keep track of important dates in their lives. You can even make a timeline for yourself. Now, di ba mangita ta ang atong buhaton pag mangita tag main idea? What is the main noun? Okay, still it's timeline. And then you find the descriptions, the descriptors, either a verb or an adjective. Ngayon pangitaon sa kada sentence. Now let's go find one. For this, I chose the aren't only for events. Meaning to say, and timelines daw, nagsulti siya. Dili lang gid para sa katong mga events sa karaang panahon. Only is an adjective. Use is a verb. But people still use them to keep track of important dates in their lives. So, ingon ni, nga kanang essay nga, ang mga tao daw gagamit pagyapon ha until today kay ilang subayon ang mga importante nga mga petsa sa ilang mga kinabuhi o mga panghitabo. The third one is another verb which is you can even make a timeline for yourself. So nag-extend siya dito sa point nga pwede di ay ka maghimo sa imong personal timeline. Dili lang sa history, sa kasaysayan, sa lungsod, sa Hinguog, Medina, Butuan, wherever it is. But you can also make a timeline about your life, personal. So I'd say that the main idea for this is that nagsulti na baya siya ganina unsay mabuhat sa timeline. Pero nag-extend pa gid siya unsay lain pwede buhaton. So that's why I said it tells us what else. The what else is the most important thing diha. What else timeline can do? And what are these else's? So these are the support statement. One, tracking your important dates in our lives. And then it suggests that you can make your own timeline. So unsa man lang your own timeline. Pwede ka magsuot na own timeline, but I prefer to write it personal timeline. So even if you say own timeline, that's correct. As long as there is that element na para gid sa tagsak tao. All right, now what is the keywords na atong gamitan dinhi? What are the keywords here? So you're still talking about timeline, but this time na siya twist, no? Kasi dili lang siya pang history kundi dili for yourself. Dili siya pang sports. Dili siya pang pamilya, pang sports pa. All right. So this one I chose personal timeline or own timeline is really good. Pero usually manggod kaning mas stronger kung gamiton nimo ang personal kaning gitawag nga adjective na personal. Kasi mas formal siya, no? Personal timeline. All right. So this example supports the main idea of it tells us what else timeline can do. And then the keywords also will relate sa akong main idea. Always make sure nga imong keyword sumpay gina sa imong main idea. All right. Let's work on the third paragraph. A timeline looks like a lot like a number. No, again, a timeline looks a lot like a number line when you begin. Draw a straight line across the page. Make a little marks for the important events in your life. Your timeline might begin with your birth and include things like the first time you walked and when you started school. So, ingon na siya, ang timeline ko, no, mura siya number line. Kung magsugod ka, na drawing kag straight nga line, unya maghimo dayon kag marka or kanang mga lines pud nga pababag para sa mga events na nimo. Ibahin-bahin nimo ang imuhang line. Nya pwede imong line nag-suggest din siya nga pwede ka magsugod kung kano sa kagi anak, kung kano sa ka naglakaw, kano sa ka nag-eskwela, but you can actually start anywhere nga gusto nimo siyang i-start. Again, pagkuha sa main idea, unsa gani ito una buhaton? Yep, unsay iyahang noun. Ang major nga noun diya. And then, you find the descriptions, either a verb or an adjective. So, we're still talking about timeline. And now we will go look for each sentence na batay verb diha or adjective. So let's start. The first one is timeline looks a lot like. So pag may kag looks a lot like, that is an adjective as it is trying to describe asa siya gi-compare. Second is draw. Third is make. Therefore, my third paragraph is actually telling us how timeline looks like. Unsay pakaparehas niya. And then it stops there and it tells another topic of which it says how to make one. Tudlo na din diya kay now ipa-draw bet niya, ipa-make bet niya. So therefore, ang atong main idea ani sulti ra gid siya kani nga paragraph. Unsay dagway ng timeline and then unsa ang pagbuhat. Now, unsa may akong support ana nga correct na siya. There you go. Looks like a lot, like a number line. Again, you can write the whole sentence, but I prefer to write it in paraphrase para kamo na may sample or model sa mga pagpaipamubo na siya. And then, those lines right there, and suggestions sa kung unsay content. So, nasulti siya nga kung maghimo kasi mag personal timeline. You put your major events, like kano sa kagianak, your birth, kano sa ka naglakaw, first walk, or start school. And like I said, kung imo tan-aw ang pinakaubos, mo na example sa timeline. 2003, gianak ka, 2004, naglakaw, and so on and so forth. Okay, now what is the keyword or keywords for this paragraph? Personal timeline gihapon. So, actually, expansion lang yun siya sa second paragraph, ang third paragraph. Okay, the fourth paragraph is, it might show the year that you were in each grade. The year goes on one side of each mark, the events on the other. Here is a sample of timeline. Now, if you notice, this is just actually sumpay ra siya sa previous na paragraph. So, it's okay nga, we leave it as is. Alright, now, pag maglibog ka, balik ka lang ni siya sa pagpaminaw, sa pagtanaw, and then, like I said, palaban jud ka sa imo dictionary, whether sa cellphone gadgets nimo or sa book version sa dictionary. Or you can send a message kang teacher or kung ang imong mama nag-abay sa imuha, then ask them, but try not to, kay maglibog sa na sila. The best bet is for your teacher or again, do it independently. Kasi in the end, ikaw ra gyud maghimo, mag-compose sa imuhang mga compositions. Okay? Class, I'm not expecting you to be perfect the first time. So, be kind to yourself. Mo na pag magsugod, you will have errors and all, but you will get the hang of it and then you will eventually have the correct analysis. All right, so keep practicing, keep analyzing. Thank you and see you soon.